Google Pixelbook review prepared today for the possible reality of tomorrow. Chromebooks may be most popular in the classroom, but Google wants to ride the train out of schools and into the next phase of students' lives. The Pixelbook is the manifestation of that idea, the piece of hardware that combines Google's revamped design aesthetic and internet-based software with the needs and wants of a younger generation. Google stopped selling the original Chromebook Pixel, but seemingly only because the company wants to shine the spotlight on its new Chrome OS laptop. No distractions, no other, potentially cheaper options. If you're someone who grew up using Chrome OS in school, this $999 convertible is the one you should get if you want to continue using Chrome OS later in life. In 2012, Chromebooks accounted for less than 1% of laptops shipped to schools around the country. In 2017, Chromebooks make up more than half of the mobile devices shipped to schools. 5 years isn't a long time to make such strides, and that may end up being good for Google in the long run, but bad for Pixelbook right now. Is the Pixelbook ahead of its time? Most signs point to yes. There's nothing generic about the Pixelbook's design, and it's certainly cut from the same cloth as the Pixel 2 smartphone. The Pixelbook has a sturdy aluminum chassis with a satin finish and one large, white glass panel on the lid. This is where the wireless signals come in and out, and it's mirrored by a white, rubbery strip that wraps around the chassis, just below the keyboard, and on either side of the trackpad. This rubber material not only gives the Pixelbook some grip when placed on a slippery surface, it makes the palm rests more comfortable spaces on which to rest your hands while typing. The 12.3-inch 2400x1600 LCD touch display has wider bezels around it than I'm used to seeing on high-end convertibles, but that does help you grip the device when in tablet mode. The Pixelbook can convert into the typical 2-in-1 modes, including laptop, tent, tablet, and entertainment mode with the keyboard flipped underneath the device. Those rubbery palm rests come in handy in that mode, stabilizing the device so that it doesn't move as easily. The edges of the Pixelbook's chassis have a scant few ports, one USB Type-C port on either side that both support charging, and the left side has a headphone jack, volume rocker, and power button. Inside the Pixelbook are 4 far-field mics that listen to your questions and commands directed to the Google Assistant. With that many internal mics, you should be able to speak to the Google Assistant from across the room. Noticeably missing from the internals are fans. The Pixelbook is a fanless convertible, no matter which configuration you get. Our model is the mid-tier configuration, with a Core i5 processor, 8 GB of RAM, and 256 GB of storage. Even the higher tier, Core i7 model doesn't need fans to run, making the Pixelbook super quiet even during our most rigorous benchmark tests. The Pixelbook configurations start with 128 GB of storage, which is much more than most Chromebooks have. As someone who has used Chromebooks in the past, I immediately saw this as overkill. But Google thinks a lot of storage is necessary even for an internet-dependent device like the Pixelbook. In our testing, not only does a large amount of onboard storage improve overall performance, but it also allows users to download larger files and programs like movies from Netflix or games from the Google Play Store. The premise makes sense if you compare it to buying a tablet. Unless you plan on only using the slab while connected to the internet, streaming anything and everything, you'll need a decent amount of storage to support the tablet's OS, all your necessary apps, any photos you take, and any temporary files downloaded over Wi-Fi. The Pixelbook also aims to compete with regular Ultrabooks in the $999 and above price range, so it would be remiss of Google to not include high storage capacity options. With its metallic and white aesthetic and its 10mm thickness, the Pixelbook looks more like decor for an ultra-minimalist. It nods to the clean, mostly white, picture-perfect desk setups found in YouTube office tour videos, and Google isn't shy about the fact that those who watch office tours are the ones who want to buy the Pixelbook. An entire generation of youth grew up and continues to grow using Chromebooks as educational tools in their schools. Google sees the Pixelbook as the grown-up, or maybe glow-up, version of those devices, a high-end, beautiful laptop that Chrome OS kids will want when it comes time for them to buy their own laptops. But even if Google got the aesthetic part right, there are still a number of things this $999 two-in-one doesn't have that the other, similarly priced devices do. The Pixelbook doesn't have a fingerprint reader, and while it does have a webcam, it doesn't have an IR camera for facial recognition.